Welcome back. Today we've learned about everything from reflexology techniques and ways to face our fears to how to properly feng shui our homes and our lives. Now I'm back with all of today's guests, Deborah Flanagan, Terry Cole, and Ariel Josephtown, to find out what inspires them on a daily basis. Thank you guys all for coming back.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
So what inspires you? Deborah, what inspires you?
I think anything that helps connect me to myself. So whether that's going to an art gallery or a museum, or writing poetry, or going out in nature, or a good trip to a big city.
Terry, what inspires you?
I would say watching people transform. Watching people step into what they're really supposed to be doing in their life that really inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. Ariel.
I almost feel like saying hashtag inspiration everywhere, because there's things everywhere on a daily basis that light me up. It could be the way someone's wiping down a counter, you know, and a child just sort of like being filled with wonder. And, you know, that's what I love most about Shakespeare, is everything's about discovery and wonder and that sense of the world. So that kind of perspective inspires me.
I feel the same way too about finding inspiration everywhere, and how life is so much more satisfying when you're actually awake enough to see the things that are inspiring you, not just like, what's my next appointment, I'm running late, but really whether it's a New York City street, whether it's a dog or a child, as you said. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the little details in life, being grateful and present for those.
And what's the word come from? I feel like inspiration is almost like to breathe in or to take in something, right? Inspire. I didn't take Latin. But I know that we're conspiring because we're all breathing together, so it feels like to take a deep breath feels inspirational.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
And even if you just made that up, I'm going with that.
Oh, cool.
So I want to talk a little bit about the difference between inspiration and motivation, because people use inspiration to get themselves to change, to take action, but I think it's confused sometimes with motivation. So can we just talk a little bit about the difference between inspiration and motivation?
I think motivation, though, at least being a psychotherapist, a lot of times clients are motivated by things that are not joyful and beautiful and amazing. They're fearful and they're vengeful, and it's, I'm going to prove my father wrong, so I'm motivated, but I'm not happy. I feel inspiration is connected to joy. Motivation can be connected to a lot of other emotions that are not necessarily joyful.
Although I would say that motivation by those negative things can be a positive, because it gets so bad that you've got to do something different. So I'm always inspired by my clients who are willing to go to those uncomfortable places, by those uncomfortable feelings, because a lot of us walk around knowing that it's bad and not wanting to make changes, but those people that can go inside and examine those and move forward as a result that's inspiring to me.
Yeah, and it feels a little bit like motivation is externally focused. You know, like it's some goal, I'm motivated by that thing I would like to attain. Whereas inspiration feels like it comes from within and then overflows out. So I don't know if that's a way that any of you have ever experienced that, but to me, motivation is like, I have a goal, it's out there, I'm gonna go get it.
Well, I think people are different in different ways. Maybe it's that introvert-extrovert metaphor, you know, like some people really get a lot of motivation and inspiration from outward things, and that helps them go within. And some people really, that wellspring comes from within and then goes out. So it's not like there's a right or wrong, it's interesting the way people do it different.
They're both important.
Who inspires you?
My grandmother really overcame a lot of obstacles and a really tough childhood to create I think it's so hard to let go of those patterns, sort of like what I was just talking about, in the way that you're raised, and to do something different, and I feel like she really did that, and so I really still feel that connection and that strength.
I love that.
I feel inspired by so many people. I mean, my mother is an inspiration because her whole life is about service to others. So if you can, you should was her motto. And if you have more than anyone, you should help them, whoever that is. But there's so many inspirational leaders out there in the field who inspire me with the work that they're doing, from Oprah to Deepak Chopra to, there's so many who are doing such good works and bringing this to millions and millions of people. So I'm inspired by a lot of people.
Do you have a quote, Ariel, that inspires you? Is there something that a mantra you use, or a passage that you find brings inspiration into your life?
Yeah, there are two of them that are actually, one of them is sort of one that I've been meditating on for a while, which is, especially in regards to relationships or figuring out something that works in the home, when faced with two options, always take the third. Because I feel like if you are locked into a position, it's really difficult to not be entrenched, and the third option can be a hybrid or a give and take. But I love that one as far as it applies to our homes. But recently, there's been this thing that I've been meditating on, which is I think a Buddhist quote or a Zen quote, which is the obstacle is the path. I think so many people are obsessed with how do I get around the obstacle? You're in my way. What can I do to get over, around, through? Get this out of my way.
Yeah.
But I love this idea that whatever's in front of us is there for a reason. And if we go into that instead of avoiding that, there's gold in there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to remember that one.
Cool.
Do you guys use vision boards? I know people. I do believe that there's inspiration all around us, and it's all about shifting our awareness. But you can consciously create inspiration in your intention with tools like a vision board. Is that something you guys use?
I think they definitely work, but I don't have one. But one of the things I do each morning when I wake up, when I'm lying in bed in between that kind of wake-sleep state, is I think about goals and big things that I want to happen, or maybe the day, maybe bigger goals, and that's working with those mirror neurons, which your brain doesn't differentiate between what you imagine happening and what's really happening. So that's my kind of version of the vision board.
I have an actual vision board in my house, which I've had for many, many years. Oh, so many things.
One thing.
Places that I want to go.
Okay.
Pictures of my husband and myself and my family, everyone happy and healthy. I'm always manifesting that. People I want to meet. There's a picture of Oprah on there. I'm not kidding. And things that I want to do. So being healthy, that's a lot of my stuff. There's a lot around health because I'm a cancer survivor. So perfect health is front and center on my vision board. But then when things happen, I take them off, right? And then I put new things on. So your vision board can always be changing depending on where you are in your life as you evolve.
Do you need to keep the things you want to keep on your vision board? I mean, it's not like your life isn't like a check-off box, right? I mean, you can't say, okay, my marriage is working, I'm taking the picture of my husband off, you know? I mean, I don't have a vision board, so I'm kind of curious as how you navigate vision board territory.
I think it depends on the person. I mean, I've done vision boards that are for a specific wish or for a particular year, but I think there's something beautiful about ritually letting go of my vision board. Not just chucking it in the trash, but I mean, the idea of honoring what's on it and saying, acknowledging the things that did manifest and then releasing the rest and then creating a new one works for me. But I love the idea. There are some people I know that have vision books where they keep the old pages and they keep looking back through it and they don't need to discard them. But I also think in terms of feng shui, my whole home is a vision board. So the idea is that we want these inspirations, constant reminders in ways that are beautiful. And so if all of our stuff in our home is pointing backwards to where we've been and what we've accomplished, it may be keeping us stuck. But if we start putting things of where we'd like to go and things in our home that are leading us towards a motivation.
Such a great idea.
Well, and the other thing about feng shui that I love is that it brings your intention to that space, that area in your life. So if in romance, you want more romance in life, so you light a candle there. It's a physicalization of an intention, which is what I love about it.
Like a concrete example.
I call that making it real. Like, let's take this intention and in your space, let's make it real.
Right. And it reminds you.
Yes.
So what do you guys do, because you're all in the change space and you all are about inspiring other people. What specifically do you guys do? We'll start with you, Terry, to inspire other people in your life.
I see them at their highest self. That's the first thing, is hold space for them to believe. I believe in their dreams. And so I reflect that back to them. It's possible. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that I do to inspire them, is believe that what they want is possible.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, our guests will share one last inspiring thought. So stay tuned. We're back talking inspiration with today's guests, Deborah Flanagan, Terry Cole, and Ariel Joseph Town. I've got one more question before we go, so this is it. If you had one message to give to our viewers today to take away, what would that be, Deborah?
I think the most important thing to realize is that we have the answers that we seek inside of us. And so using different tools to help you uncover that, but you know what's best for you.
To trust your inner voice?
Yeah. Your intuition.
Terry, how about you?
I would say to remember that 98% of the fear that you feel on a daily basis is just a feeling, and to have them ask themselves the question, how would my life change if I really believed that that was true?
That the fear is just a
feeling that they
could,
and they can change that feeling into something better.
Great, that's a great question. Ariel, what's your one idea for us today?
Well, my feng shui master is from Hawaii. And a lot of what he taught were about these Hawaiian huna principles. And the one that I love to focus on the most is that energy flows where attention goes. So whatever we're putting our mind onto grows in our experience.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, my energy is on all of you guys today, and I want to thank you all for being here and sharing your insights and wisdom with us all. My one thought for today would be gratitude, because I am grateful for all of you being here. So thank you.
Thank you
so much. I'm Lisa Oz, and I'm always searching for new information and inspiration with my guests. I learned some great stuff today. I hope you did too.